This is Matt with About Time Technologies, and I'm going to take you through some of the basic functions of using the Field Clock application on the BlackBerry. I'm also going to demonstrate some of the different privileges each of your employees can have when using the system. The first thing we want to do is launch the application, which is indicated here by these red and green squares. After the application opens, we're introduced to the pin-in screen. This is where you're going to put in your 4-digit code that is assigned to you as an employee to be able to use the system. This is typically a 4 or 5-digit pin. Most companies will use the last 4 digits of your social security number. Now what I'm going to do is clock in with the bare bones employee, an employee that hasn't been given any privileges on the system other than just to be able to clock in and out. As you can see, Zach Galifianakis can either clock in or out. He can't change his job location. And when I clock in with him, you'd see that was it. Now if I was to go back in with him and clock out, you'd see that he was never introduced with any other privileges. But now, I can clock in with Jay Leno. The same thing. He still cannot change his job location. But if I was to clock in with him, he does have the ability to select a cost code. And we could say that Jay's going to be doing basic labor. And just like that, Jay is clocked in. Now I'm going to show you Conan. Conan has the ability to change his job location, which he's going to head on down and work at the Walmart in Hollywood. And when he clocks in, he also has the ability to select a cost code. And he too is doing labor. Now, we can also associate equipment with cost codes. So if you have equipment that you're tracking, you can associate that with particular cost codes. So if I was to clock back in with Conan and select delivery, it'll bring up his equipment list. Conan does delivery in the Ford F-350. And so now he's clocked in for a job location, he selected a cost code, and with that cost code was associated that piece of equipment. Let's clock in one more time with Conan, and I'm going to show you how you can enter units on the clock. So now Conan is doing flooring, and he's laying tile. Okay, so now we've clocked him in for tile, but at the end of the day, or whenever he decides to clock out or in for a new cost code, I'm going to clock him out. Now he can enter how many units of tile that he used. It's the end of the day, he's finished that task, and he can say that he's used. Now all of this data that we've just collected on the device, these ins and outs, the equipment, the units, it's all sent back in one push of the sync button, which is underneath the 9 and to the right of the 0. And in a matter of seconds, that information is retrievable in the office and can be viewed from the control center. Okay, now that we've seen all the different ways employees can utilize the system, let's recap and go through a real workflow scenario of an employee utilizing the system to clock in and out during the day. So I'm going to clock in with Conan. And you see it's 8:03 a.m. in the morning, and he's ready to start his day. He was working at the Walmart in Hollywood, but today he's working at a different job location, so I'm going to change that. He's starting off his morning working at the Margaritaville Target. So I select that, and that's been changed. Now he can clock in and can select that he's going to be working on labor. So he's clocked in the morning. Now it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Conan's ready to clock out and take an hour-long lunch. Simple as that, he clocks out. He's finished his lunch. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Conan returns back to work, and he's ready to clock in again at the same job location. He'll select in, but now Conan's working a different cost code. Instead of labor, now he's doing excavation, and he's utilizing a piece of equipment. He's using the backhoe to do the excavation. He selects that as his piece of equipment. Now he's clocked in once more. Okay, now it's the end of the day. It's 5 p.m. Conan's ready to go home for the weekend, but first he needs to clock out. He selects out. It's 5:07 p.m. He clocks out. Now all of that time's ready to be sent back to the office, and the office will collect real time from the field instead of handwritten time cards with guesstimations.